Welcome back to the channel, and today we are figuring out who are the best Wonderkids currently playing at the Euros. I have built a team from goalkeeper right up to striker and decided who I thought was a pretty good FM Wonderkid currently playing at this year's Euros. Let's have a look at the team. But remember to please subscribe. There is a button right in this corner right here. There is a button there that means that you can subscribe to this channel for all more content like this and other content as well. Make sure to press it if you like the video, and leave down in the comments who's your favourite Wonderkid currently playing at the Euros. Starting off in goal is Belgium's Bart Verbruggen. He currently plays for Brighton and signed for 20 million euros last season from Anderlecht. He has a potential ability of 83 out of 100 on Football Manager. He's a pretty good keeper. He played well for Brighton this year, and I'm pretty sure he did play in the second game for Belgium, and he's only 22 years of age, which is very young for a goalkeeper. I couldn't find any right back, so I've used a left back at right back, and it's Hungarian's Milos Kerkez. He plays for Bournemouth, and he signed last year for 18 million euros from AZ Alkmaar. He has a potential ability. He actually has a dynamic potential ability of between 70 and 90. Dynamic potential abilities are when they are different in every single save, so there's no exact number. Their potential just varies over every save that you'll do. But Milos Kerkez is one of the highest touted left backs in the world right now in terms of, potential ability, and he had a good debut season for Bournemouth in the Premier League. Staying at Bournemouth for our first centre back is Zabiani. He's a Ukrainian centre back who signed for Bournemouth last January. He signed from Dynamo Kiev for 22 million euros, and he has a potential ability of 83. Next is an Italian centre-back, Calafiori. I could have put Scalvini in here, but I wanted to pick someone who actually has played this tournament. Calafiori signed from Basel to the team that he's at now, Bologna, for just 4 million euros. And a season later, he's being linked with the likes of Juventus and Liverpool. He has a potential ability on Football Manager of only 78. But he wasn't very well known before this year. You can imagine he'll have a higher potential ability on next year's Football Manager. Staying in Italy for the left back, who else? Destiny Udogie. His debut campaign for Tottenham this year was really good. He probably should have been in the Premier League team of the season if it wasn't for a few injuries that he picked up. But he hasn't played that so far this tournament. He's had an injury, but he signed from Udinese for 18 million euros, went back to Udinese on loan from Tottenham, and has just had his first campaign in the Premier League this year, and he has a potential ability on Football Manager of 87. Staying in the Premier League next is our first midfielder, central midfielder, Kobbie Mainoo, a Man United youth prospect who has come through the academy, only just started playing senior football this year as he got called up to play in the first team for Man United in the second half of this season. He looked one of the star players in a really struggling Man United side, and obviously he had a great performance in the FA Cup final against Manchester rivals Manchester City, and he boasts a potential ability on Football Manager of between 70 and 90, another dynamic potential. The next centre midfielder is Dutch player Xavi Simons. Now, this guy has been all over Europe with the clubs that he's been at. He started at PSG, then moved on a free transfer to Leipzig, but PSG had a buyback clause, I think, in the contract, and they activated it and bought him back for 4 million euros. Then he went back to Leipzig on loan again last season, and he impressed enough to play for Netherlands. He's already made 17 appearances for Netherlands, and he's a young player as well. And he has a dynamic potential ability on Football Manager of between 70 and 90. Moving to Real Madrid with our last central midfielder, Arda Güler. The Turkish player scored an incredible goal in this tournament against Georgia. One of the best goals in the tournament so far, I must say. He has a dynamic potential ability of between 70 and 90. He signed from Turkish side Fenerbahce last year for 20 million euros, but didn't feature much for Real Madrid this season, with picking up quite a serious injury at the start of the year. Moving on to the attack, and probably the highest potential player in this whole team, it is Spanish 16-year-old Lamine Yamal. Commentators can't get enough of this guy being 16 years of age, and he's probably one of the youngest players to ever play at a national major tournament. He came through Barcelona's academy. He's one of the highest potential players in the entire game of Football Manager, with a dynamic potential ability of between 80 and 100. 100 being the maximum you can possibly get. Lamine Yamal can reach that potential in some games. Staying in Spain, his attacking wing partner, Nico Williams, the younger brother of Bilbao legend Iñaki Williams. He's also at Bilbao. He has set the tournament alight with his brilliant ability on the ball. Some of his play and on the ball movements, his dribbling has been so good to watch this year for Spain. He boasts a potential ability on Football Manager of 86, and he is linked with a lot of the top clubs around the world. And finally, the striker in this team is Danish striker Rasmus Højlund. He plays for Manchester United, and in his debut Premier League campaign this year, managed to score 10 goals for a struggling Manchester United side, but they did sign him from Atlanta for a staggering 74 million euros just last summer. Hopefully he has a better season this year. Obviously, he started getting going in the Premier League this year with a fair few amount of goals in a row, but then he got an injury sort of February time, and his form sort of dwindled off towards the end of the season. But he hasn't had a great campaign so far in the Euros for Denmark, but Denmark are through in second place, and maybe he will turn up a little bit more in the knockout rounds. But that's my team. Do you agree with every player in here, or is there some players I have missed off? Obviously, Pedri, Jude Bellingham, Scalvini were not in this list, but I tried not to pick the massive names that have already made it in football. I want to give an honourable mention shout to Giorgio Marmadashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper. Obviously, one of the big Football Manager Wonderkids, but I wanted to go for Verbruggen instead. But if you like this video, then leave a like and comment down below who your favourite Wonderkid is playing in the Euros this year. And make sure, most importantly, to subscribe. And until then, I will see you later.